Good morning, everyone. Sorry for being just a couple minutes late. I have a story. I have a story to share. I have a little story to share about why we are a little late today. I was up making my morning breakfast, and I was making a protein shake. And I have one of those really nice Vitamix blenders, but we've had it for probably what, at least 10 years?
Yeah, somewhere
10
around there.
years. So I'm making my shake like I do every morning, and all of a sudden I hear this loud crash, and my shake starts spewing out of the side of the blender. We got like this major hole and crack in the blender, and it's just spewing chocolate shake all over me. So that was quite the little mess to clean up this morning, and kind of threw my morning off just a little bit. So yeah, I started my day covered in chocolate, but not in the good way, not in a fun way. So here we are, and we are excited to be here today. We have the beautiful Zabelina Vargas, the gorgeous Michelle Leith, and my husband, my partner in crime, Ron Olson, here with me, and we are going to tackle that elephant in the room today. But before we do that, if you are watching this on our page, on anyone who invited you, you're going to see down below a little button, a little arrow, and it's directing you to push a button. Now you might be wondering, why on a homeschool hangout would we have a button for you to push to go somewhere? Well, there's a reason for that. We do this hangout to share information with you, to share tips, techniques, and tricks. We also do this hangout to share with you the concept and the idea that you can actually make money while you're educating your family. You can bring an income into your household while you're doing your homeschool, while you're socializing your munchkins. That can all occur at the same time, simultaneously. It can be worked into your day. And so when you click that button below at the end of this hangout, you'll be directed to information about how we do that. So before we get into the socialization part, I just wanted to ask my lovely panel here this morning, the way that we have chosen to increase our income is through Wake Up Now. And the reason we've done that is because it's such a great fit for homeschool families. It really is. So let's start with Zabelina, and let's find out why you think Wake Up Now is a great fit for homeschool families.
Good morning, everybody. If you don't know me, now you know me. My name is Zabelina, and I live in New Jersey. I have 3 beautiful kids. I have a 17-year-old, 14-year-old, and the caffeine hasn't kicked in yet, y'all, so bear with me. An 11-year-old. Okay, this is going to be fun today. Yeah, listen, Wake Up Now. What's up with it? Why did I do it? Well, first of all, I'm not like a guru marketer, and I did try a few other things when it came to internet marketing, network marketing, whatever kind of marketing you want to call it. I've done a few. I've been in a few other companies, but Wake Up Now, it has so much to offer for homeschool families. We have so many different applications. We have so many different software programs. We have so many different discounts, language programs, all kinds of really cool things. And income disclaimer, wakeupnow.com/IDS. Once we start talking about the money and what we're making, we have to throw that in there just for the sake of the integrity of our company. But yeah, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, and I'm part of the team, and I am at $2,500 per month residual income. So yay for that. Can I get it? Woo! Woo! So that's why it's so awesome for our family. Wake Up Now. I share it with the world on Facebook. I can share it with my family, with my friends, and it's really not something it's not rocket science. So for me, that's why it's convenient for me. I can put in my own hours, do it whenever I want, and see the increase. And I'm part of an amazing team. I don't know where I would be without this team, guys. That's who I am. That's what I do, and that's Wake Up Now in my family.
That's awesome, Evelina. And right, it fits right in. Fits right in with everything. Michelle, what would you like to add about why Wake Up Now works for you and for other homeschool families?
Oh, absolutely. It's one of those deals that you're not just getting into a company, just like Sabelina said. It's a family. It's a whole thing where everybody comes together and they help each other. And it doesn't matter if you've been a seasoned marketer or if you're new into marketing. It's got that whole realm of everybody that literally helps everybody, and it's everything from posting things to coming in and liking and commenting and having the freedom. We have our little one with us today.
Yeah, I got my
Jackie.
But yeah, we love it for that. We love it for that whole freedom that I get to be able to do it with Jackie, and I love for the fact too that it's not just a business. It's a savings. The coupons, the deal streams, the things that save on all the things that you have and you need for the family and everything else. So it's got so many benefits with it that are just far more than just a business, and that's part of why I chose it. I actually chose it more for the tools and the things that we had inside of it versus the actual business aspect of it.
I hear you. I hear you for sure, because there's so much available to us. There's so many great great things from that you've mentioned some mentioned some of the great things, the language program, the 1MD, we have access to a doctor, that's just amazing, especially because we do travel, so we're not. That's right.
Oh yeah, and the
WebMD,
and the WebMD part of it, the fact that you figure health insurance for everybody can be extremely steep, and especially for people who work from home and are entrepreneurs. Doesn't matter what kind of business they have or anything else, that WebMD being able to get on the computer or the phone and talk to the doctor to do all that, and it's only a fraction of the price that actual insurance costs. It's talk about a lifesaver.
for sure, for
Absolutely.
sure. And Ron, I want you to touch on. You didn't know I was going to ask you this. I like putting people on the spot. That's just my thing. I do it in homeschool every day. Okay, so share with people why, especially homeschool families, how you can write off like stuff you have your kids do for your business and even part of your house. How can you write that off on your taxes?
You can hire your kids. It's the simplest way to put it. There's lots of things that our kids are starting to do as they get a little older to help us in our business.
Yep, we lost them. I kind of had a feeling. As soon as I saw their screen and they were going, they were frozen, I said, "Oh boy, we're gonna lose them. We're gonna lose them."
Yeah.
I know they're about to pop back on, but since they are the mediators of the Hangout, we may possibly get cut off, guys. And these are one of the awesome things that you get to do when you work from home with us. You get to,
yeah. So far it's live.
Yeah.
I'm trying to come back in.
Hey guys, I'm telling the audience now that we may most likely cut off. Usually when that happens, it cuts off, and we may have to go live with a different link. So bear with us. If that's the case, just bear with us, guys.
We'll get it back up again.
Okay, well, I joined back in. I said try again, so I've got 2 cameras on me. I don't know.
Okay, cool. We'll hope.
All right, we're gonna keep going, and hopefully, let me mute my other mic.
So anyway,
So
what I was
what I was saying is,
Wait.
no, we can't do that.
Keep talking, Zabalina.
Keep talking, Zabalina.
Talking Zabalina, talking Zabalina, talking Zabalina. Oh, Lord have mercy. But you know what, guys? This is going to get so good. This is going to get so good because we've got an amazing topic for you. And it's the most requested topic of the, the whole homeschooling, unschooling ordeal. Socialization. Oh, my God, your kids, they're going to be creepy. They're not going to know how to talk to people. Did you guys mute your microphone?
yeah.
I think we got it. Can you hear us good now?
Good. Take it away, Ron.
All right, so you go ahead and finish telling them how
All
they
right.
can hire their kids.
So anyway, there's a program that we have access to within Wake Up Now called TaxBot, and it was written by a former IRS tax attorney, Sandy Botkin, that used to teach IRS tax attorneys. So the source is very, very good. He's up to date on all the taxes stuff. The tax code is like this long. All the revisions and everything like that. And so if you have a question about how you can do that, that's a great resource for that. But there's lots of things that kids can do to help you in your business. Like, for example, our daughters right now, after as part of their school, they are creating things for our Facebook social media and things like that, memes and things to help us grow our business. And not only are they able learning things that will actually make them money, and they'll be able to create a living earning and doing those types of things, is that we're able to actually pay them for that, and then we're able to write that off on taxes to be able to be applied for other things that they're going to need in their lives. So it's just amazing. Wake Up Now really has all the pieces, and the cool thing is it's the first social distribution network of its that there's ever been created, and so it's just going to get better and better. We're actually on the precipice of actually hitting a momentum phase within the business where we're slated to be one of the next billion-dollar companies, and right now the website itself. They track this stuff. It's amazing. We've actually been to the corporate office and seen, exactly how they're tracking different websites and website traffic in our niche of network marketing, and we're between number 1 and number 2 all the time for website traffic because of our deal stream, because of the amazing different products that are within Wake Up Now.
So what does that mean for you? That means that you have access to all this, and you can even check it out for free. Just click that button below. We're all done with our shenanigans here today. You can click that button below. So we're going to join that socialization party now, and tackle that giant. And another reason I chose this topic is because I got a phone call about a week and a half ago from my dad, and my dad. I love my dad and my stepmom. They're awesome people. But I could hear my stepmom in the background. My dad was asking, well, how are the kids doing? What are they doing in their school? And I could hear her saying stuff like, what socialization are they getting? Do they ever get out of the house? What about school dances when they get older? What about, and I'm kind of thinking, I don't know about you, but prom never helped me in my future. I guess unless you married your high school sweetheart, prom really actually was we'll share with you that they can actually go to prom, and they actually have homeschool proms. So if prom's a big thing for you, we got it. We got you covered.
Homeschool's not like it used to be. That's the whole, because people are seeing the opportunity that it has to be able to teach the things that teach the things that their kids that they want, and that they need actually to make a living in life, instead of having to to kind of basically just be one of the pack.
And it's just like when Ron was mentioning us hiring our kids to do stuff. You might think, well, oh, that's slave labor. Maybe it is, but they're learning slavery. They're learning slavery. They're learning. They're learning spelling. They have to spell my daughter came to me and she was a little afraid. She thought I was going to be mad. She goes, Mom, I just posted something on Facebook and I spelled it wrong. And it was on our Wake Up Homeschool Parents page. And so, you can't spell wrong on that page. And so, I said, honey, it's okay. And then I could teach her how to fix something when you do it. When you do post something that's spelled wrong, you can go back and fix it. That nice edit button, because I said Mommy posts things wrong sometimes too. So, but you can. There's so much learning opportunities when they work your business. They're learning about business, the way a business runs. They're learning how to communicate with people. One of the things, they're not just doing memes. I'm having them post questions to engage the audience. So they're having to think, what can I ask people about this topic? They're learning to, they give speeches because public speaking is one of the highest paid professions today. Sales and public speaking. So that's something that's important to us. Even, you look at even public school, they're stopping teaching cursive writing. I still want them to learn that myself, so we're doing that. But communication, speech, and writing is so key and so important. So they're learning that. But if they, writing for some of them is not their forte. I know Zabelina mentioned that one of hers didn't really care for writing either. So we give them the option of recording and doing a video or doing a speech. So there's so many options out there, and the best part for us is they're socializing. They're socializing with people, not only live, because we go to activities all the time. We'll cover that in a minute. But they're socializing and getting to meet people over the internet that they then meet in the future at a live event or when they get together. And it's like they're already friends. And so that's how socialization really works today. So Michelle, how do you make sure that Jackie's not socially misfit?
Unmute my mic.
It's all good.
Okay. Yeah. Oh my gosh, she's so far. I mean, even compared to a lot of the other kids that we've been around her age frame and everything, because of everything that I started doing, then she started joining me. She's, far more her vocabulary, the way she talks, the full. You wouldn't think. Even when she came on earlier, you wouldn't think she was 4. You would think she was older, because the fact that she does turn around and engage and have those conversations. And it's funny because you started with the kids talking about incorporating them into it. I ended up doing it not even on purpose. I was cutting daily videos, getting out there on the camera, and then all of a sudden one day she's, Mommy, I want to do that with you too. So then it actually shifted from me doing videos to she would end up kind of stealing the show. So it was, all the way down to even in the end, she would turn around and tell you, join Wake Up Now and the whole bit, because she absolutely, she loves everything that we're doing. She looks forward to the hangouts. She looks forward to being able to interact. And like you said, she's getting on the camera. So one, she's not afraid of the camera for nothing in this world. She was even recording on her iPod while we were talking earlier to show what she was doing. So she started doing her own little video series, so it's kind of funny. But it turns around, and she loves that whole thing of she gets to talk, and it's all different ages. We get on at times with other little kids that are also on, so she's still socializing with the younger ones. She also talks to the adults, like, she doesn't care how old you are or what you're doing or anything else. If you're going to sit there and talk to her, she's going to sit there and have a conversation with you. And, when we go on the field trips and stuff, she is not afraid to walk up to people and say, hi, what are you doing? Are you, and then she goes into a whole spiel of, I'm on a field trip and I'm learning about, this today. And so, no, if anything, I actually think she's better socialized by going through this homeschool realm than in the, and forgive me for saying it, but for the public school. I mean, I've got kids that have all gone through the whole public school thing, and you've got that weeding out of the things that they pick up from the other kids and the different things that are done, and the things that you got to go, oh, no, wait a minute, you can't do that, or you can't say that, or you can't, to where she's actually been able to turn around and be herself through this whole process. So, I mean, sorry, to me, this is the best, and I actually wish I had have done it with the others.
Awesome. So I love that you mentioned field trips, because field trips are awesome too. And I love that you mentioned her making her own videos. Our RJ, when he was 4, we found he got a tablet for Christmas a couple years ago, and we found his videos that he was making that we didn't even know he was making on his own. And at the end of his videos, he ended his videos like we did, and he would say things like, "See you on the next video," or "See you next time." He was mimicking what we were doing on our videos, and isn't that repetition and mimic, and that he's our little apprentice. So that's they're learning and they're watching and they know, and they're very a part of what's going on.
Oh, they are. They absolutely are. And she gets on her little videos, and she does. She starts it off, "Hi, this is Jackie, and today we're going to," and it's just like, oh my God, the cutest thing in the world.
I bet. You'll have to post one of her videos, because that would be awesome. Tag me in it. So, Zabelina, share with us some of the things that people can do if they're looking to homeschool and they're worried about this question. They're worried about people coming up to them, because we get it all the time, don't we? How are your kids socialized? They don't care how smart, or what kind of education or curriculum you're doing, or how well they know things. They just want to know, are they socialized? So how do you handle that?
It's a little frustrating. I'm going to be honest with you. It's still a very sensitive issue for me, because there are times where I'm just like, do I got to continue to seriously defend what it is that I'm doing? And it's ignorance. It really is, because when you don't say anything, people notice that your family's different, but in a good way. And then they praise your children, and then they say, "Man, your kids, they're so awesome." But then when you say they're homeschooled, or they'll ask, "Well, what grade is she, or what school does she go to?" And it's like, oh God, you gotta put on the whole army suit, because this is gonna be a battle, and then, oh, they're homeschooled. What? Why? And then it's just like, okay, it's like Jesus. Jesus was going around, performing the miracles, but didn't nobody see the miracles? People just saw all the rules that he was breaking. Well, you can't heal on the Sabbath, and it's just like, look at the miracles. Look at what's happening with our children. I was totally one of those guys that I was just a huge critic. I did not believe in the whole homeschooling. I didn't even know that it existed in Florida. I mean, I was like, what the heck is that? It wasn't until I came to New Jersey that I knew that it existed. And it was because I met a totally social 15-year-old homeschooler. I'm like, who the heck are you, and why are you so cool, and you're just different. And her mom told me, well, we homeschool. And I was like, man, that's the coolest thing in the world. So, well, actually, no. When I found out, it wasn't the coolest thing in the world. I thought the same thing that everybody else would think. How dare you? Oh God, she's home with you all day. Why would you do that? And when my daughter turned 12, my oldest, I started to realize the influence that was happening in the schools and the choices that she was making. And that's when I began to really kind of dig deep into this whole homeschooling deal. And come to find out, there are a whole lot of support groups. And it's like what you were saying, Ron. times are different now. Times have changed. You've got the internet. You've got, transportation. You could take them anywhere and everywhere they can learn. And I realized, man, there are so many things that people are offering for these children, and it's so much so that if you think you're going to get the whole bookwork in, you're going to be too busy, let me tell you, because we were not even home half the time. Like, we were just out doing all kinds of activities, which was awesome. But yeah, you can go on to Google, you can search up, local homeschool groups in your area. You can go on to, I go to a website called njhsa.org, and that's from my New Jersey. They have everything, y'all, everything. I mean, everything. From proms to graduations to, I don't know how many things, like everything that you could possibly think of, they have it. You go to what's it, the legal defense, HSLDA? Is that what it is? Did I just say that? NJHSA, HSLDA, LMNOP? There's too many A's, y'all. Too much. Listen, just write it down. We'll leave y'all the links. It's awesome. I know we have a viewer who is from Canada, and his name is Roland. Hey, Roland! I see you. Yes. And he's like, man, the system is killing us, man. Yeah, it really does. So you got to stand strong for what you believe in. But my kids are awesome. My kids are totally awesome. A few stories, right? In terms of comparison, some people say, well, you're sheltering your children. They're not going to learn how to defend themselves. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little something.
They can better.
Let me tell you a little something, okay? Here in New Jersey, you got houses, right? And we all live on top of each other. All these little brick houses, right? We have no space, no room to even breathe. If you fart, the neighbor will hear you, okay? That's how close we are to each other. Anyways, I'm saying all this to say that we've been in our neighborhood now for about 7 years. And 2 of my children have had to deal with bullying issues, okay? So, oh my God, they're not going to learn how to defend themselves. You got to let them go to school, because in the real world, I'm sorry, I didn't know that I lived in Pluto, because apparently Earth is like, I'm no longer a part of Earth because we're homeschooled. So I do not participate in the real world. Apparently I live in La La Land, but it's nice here. It's really peaceful. However, they've dealt with 2 bullies. My son was 12, and he had an 18-year-old bully, okay? And then now my daughter, she's 11, and she has a 7-year-old bully, okay? So we've had to deal with these things. You got to teach them, hey, listen, this is how you deal with it, and stand up for what you believe in, stand up for yourself, speak up. Let me tell you, they do. I've taught them how to complain and argue diplomatically. Although sometimes I don't complain and argue diplomatically. The ghetto comes out of me. But my children, let me tell you, my children, they're like the best part of me. I swear, I'm so proud of them. But they're awesome. My daughter, my 17-year-old, she had a friend over, right? My son has brought his public school friends over, and I don't mean to be, what's the word? Because just as much as people could hate on homeschoolers, I think sometimes us homeschoolers can hate on public schoolers a little bit. We tend to. I'm just being real. To segregate, but anyway, so my son brought the public schoolers. They didn't talk to me. They were like this. They didn't have conversations with me. They were just, and I had to engage with them. I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? What's going on? How's your life? And they were like, why is this woman talking to me? Which is really sad. And then my daughter brought her friend who is a homeschooler, and they're like baking cupcakes in the kitchen. She's having conversations with me. There's no fear. She's just there, and she's like, yeah, what's up? And blah, 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 blah. I'm like, wow, the difference. It's a huge difference, You build character. It creates character. It creates strength. So there's 101,000 things for you to do out there with your kids. Socialization is really no problem. I posted a picture that said, woo, the homeschool topic today is the socialization. Ah! And are we like the Addams family? Are kids like the Addams family? You better believe we are, and I'll tell you why. Because the Addams family was different. When they walked into a room, people knew that they were there. They were cool as heck. They didn't care who was watching. They were themselves. Yes, we are the Addams family.
And we're proud of it, right?
Yes, girl.
Amen.
Awesome. And that's so true. And there's so much. I just was making note of some of the things that we found that are available in our area. We have Art in the Park Day, so our kids can meet up, all different ages, get together. They help each other out with their art projects. You know, some of the moms have come together and they bring the supplies. You know, we all pitch in a couple bucks to help them pay for the supplies, and the kids get to spend time with other kids making an art project. There's Lego clubs. There's robotic clubs. There is
pizza parties.
Pizza parties.
Yeah.
Get together. You know, for the little ones, there's get it together at the McDonald's and let them play in the playland while the moms have a few minutes to talk to each other and talk to a grown up. So, you know, which is another reason you should do business, because we do get to talk to grown-ups besides just kids. So that's another plug for the business. But there's so much available, and you know, like Zabelina said, you can Google local homeschool groups. You can go to HSLDA and find out what's in your state for those that are in the U.S. Facebook is where I found a lot of groups. You start joining a couple of those groups, and then Facebook will show you along the side. It'll say, well, now that you're interested in that, you might be interested in these over here. So you can just join up some of these groups, and be careful. My warning is don't join too many, or like Zabelina said, you'll never have time for anything. And so I have a question, though, because and this is for my panel, because I have this question. See, my daughter came home. She goes to church activities, too. That's another way to do socialization. But you know, she is the Addams family girl, only she's not one that likes to really stand out a whole bunch. So she's more laid back, watch the group. She's a little more introverted. But, I mean, she loves to make friends. But the public school kids I think they don't know what to do with her, and they kind of shun her a little bit. I said, I don't think they mean to. So how do you help your kids deal with that, Michelle and Zabelina? Someone step up, and because she came home crying last night, saying they left her out again. And so how do you help them work through that issue?
That's frustrating. I can definitely relate to it. It gets easier as they get older and they start to really realize that there is a huge difference, and it actually builds their confidence in a way, because they see themselves and they say, wow, yeah, I'm different, you know. But you know, I say this: they're gonna hurt in school, and they're gonna hurt homeschooling. You know what I mean? It happens in school. Children do this to each other. You know, you have your child that they go into school and they deal with all of these socially awkward situations. And it also happens outside of you know, the whole homeschooling arena. And it also actually happens within maybe even co-ops and stuff like that. We've all got different personalities, you know. What I would say is probably the what we have to our advantage is that we're actually there in the moment, and we can help them to learn how to take those feelings, express them, because it's all about learning to express how you feel. You can't really, that's my thing. It's like these things are going to happen whether you're in school or not, in life or not. Just like us, we have a hard time explaining to our families that our choice of profession is different. You know, we work from home, we do marketing, and our family tends to kind of push us away, or people tend to kind of push us away. So we can relate in that sense. You know, it happens. My kids, the way that they deal with it, like I said, as they get older, it gets a little bit better. My daughter, 17 years old, she's walking down the streets of our town with a friend of hers, and she's talking to another girlfriend of hers who she's still in public school, and they come across a group of friends, and my daughter says that they were talking and they were like, "Yo, what's up?" and cursing and blah 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 blah, blah beep, 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 right? And then all of a sudden, my daughter starts to talk, and well, yeah, well, and how you, and she just starts to have a conversation with them like you and I would have a conversation, and they were like, yeah, well, I want to go to college, I'm going to go to college. And all of a sudden, their whole demeanor changed, the way that they spoke changed. So eventually, it comes to a point where they become strong in the sense of who they are and what they believe in, and that's what it's all about. It's a training ground. That's what it's all about. So, my son who's 14, he's like, I want to go out, I want to make friends, and he went out and had like 95% of all the kids out there in the park pay attention to him, and they were all his friends. But let me tell you, man, he came home with so many stories. He's like, Mom, all they talk about is just, they're boys, they're 14-year-old boys. So he's like, they talk about all kinds of crazy, he's like, and I get it, Mom. I totally get it. But come on, man. Eventually it just comes to a point where you just get tired, And then my daughter, my little one, the 11-year-old, she, I think, is the one that would struggle with it the most because you want to fit in, and with the neighbors, it's just like, oh, you don't go to school, and, and they would test her. They really would. They would test her. They'd be like, well, what's 2 + 2? And, yeah, I know, right? And so eventually what I did was I said, hey, listen, what are you good at, sweetie pie? And she said, well, I'm good at piano, I'm good at drawing, I'm good at dancing, I'm good at, choreography, I'm good at poetry, I'm good at this, and I'm good at that. I was like, hey, listen, you're good at that, they may be good at math, science, whatever it is, but why don't you turn around and say, well, I'm gonna teach you how to do what I do, you know what I mean? Like, stop testing me and let me teach you how to play the piano. Let me teach you how to draw whatever. Let me teach, so she's been learning how to deal with that in that sense. So, it's not sheltering at all. As a matter of fact, I think that it really does empower them to become strong in that sense, to really stand up for who they are,
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Oh, yeah. That way, if they are right, and they do tend to be more introverted and they're not as outgoing as some of the other kids. We've dealt with it too, and we've dealt with it even with the public school system, like Dabalina said. Kids nowadays, I'm sorry, I don't care if they're homeschooled, if they're public school, whatever, they can at times be mean, and they can be mean around other kids and everything else. My biggest thing that I've always taught mine is, first, like the ones that are mean or the ones that turn around and they left you out or whatever, first, don't take it personally. They're not used to you. They're not used to the whole idea. You don't know how things are actually on their home front, because I tend to find a lot of times those kids actually, until you actually go up and approach them and find out more about them, a lot of times there's a whole lot more to their story for why they're even being the way they are to begin with. And, the biggest thing is just always, they'll come in with the tears, so, because their feelings got hurt, but you just turn around, and the biggest thing is just lifting up their self-esteem and then telling them that even those kids, don't hold it against them. Just next time maybe, go up to them and find something that they do have similar with you, something that has nothing to even do with school or anything else. Find some kind of similarity to where the next time you don't get left out, or take something that you like to do with you next time, so maybe they'll see you doing something like that, and then they'll get curious. So you got to kind of, and I know it's hard sometimes with the younger ones, but you've actually got to start teaching them early to kind of step out of the box, because even Jackie's been dealing with one that, it's a little boy, and the boy and the girl, and he's kind of a bully, and into the whole kicking and karate and this and that and the other, and you have to kind of teach that whole thing of, wait a minute, we don't do that, or you don't hit girls, or you don't, so you have to go through that whole process, and a lot of that's because what he gets away with somewhere else. So, you know, you definitely have to just build their self-esteem, and eventually they do, like Zabelina said, it takes time, but as they do get a little bit bigger, they will get stronger. I mean, Brittany, my 18-year-old, she turns around now and she's not afraid of anything. She's not afraid of anybody flat out anymore. If you like her, great. If you don't, she's not worried about it because she probably won't know you 5 years from now. So that's, you know, that's your choice, not, you know, great if you want to hang out and go do things, and if you don't, you're lost.
That's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. I was thinking, all right, I'm going to ask my panel today. I did some of those things, you know, pointed out, I mentioned to her, I said, you know, they probably don't realize what they're doing. They're not doing it on purpose. And so definitely I love the ideas. And I love what you said. You know, that's one thing we've talked to our kids about is most generally the people that you're best friends with in elementary and high school, they're not your best friends later on in life. Not that you don't care about them, but the chances of you remaining close throughout your entire life, it happens. It does happen sometimes. There are those cases, but it's not likely that they're going to remain in your life throughout your life. I know my friends. I had some good friends, and I had those days back in high school, in public school, where I sat. You know, I spent a lonely year one year by myself, alone in the hallway, so eating my lunch by myself. So I've been there in public school too. But I did have some good friends that I had in school that, you know, we still chat once in a while on Facebook and different stuff. Thank heavens for technology. But you know, we're not close like we were. We don't hang out. I have new relationships. We're always expanding relationships.
Right.
I get to hang out with Zabelina and Michelle, and they're my best friends.
That's the one thing about personal development is you grow into a different person as you read about and learn about success and things like that, and strive for those things and strive for the success of others. So that's one of the things that trying instill.
Right.
Go ahead, Michelle.
I want to bring up something else too, because this is something we've dealt with a lot, and actually Brittany's even had to deal with it in school, and this is a topic that near and dear to my heart, because you guys know I'm in a wheelchair. The wheelchair ends up, I mean, it's bad enough with the whole school situations and everything else, but the wheelchair also brings in a whole new realm of issues actually for the kids, because then I'm showing up in a wheelchair. So, oh my God, what's wrong with her? Or why can't she walk? Or why is she sitting? And it's funny because, like Jackie, she's never known anything different. She's never known me before the chair. I've been in the chair for 10 years. She'll be September. So she has no clue. Brittany, she met me after, because she's actually my stepdaughter. She met me after the fact. My other kids, they knew me before, and then, of course, after. And it's weird because it becomes like this big phantom in the room. But like Brittany, it's funny because she won't defend herself as quickly. But if somebody goes to even remotely say something about me, all of a sudden you see this whole powerhouse of a child that comes out of I don't know where, and just don't do it. So it's really bizarre because you watch them go through these chants. So then I use that as an example to show her, well, if you can defend me like that, you can defend you like that also, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Sometimes we have an easier time defending someone we love over ourselves, which actually brings in more of the personal development of making sure that we love ourselves as much as we love those around us too. So, you know, that we want to teach our kids to definitely have that confidence and self-confidence, and that's, you know, that is, I'm so glad you brought that up, because that's one thing we've been doing. We've been reading the self-confidence formula every day. Zabelina, you have something to add?
I do. The self-confidence, I do.
Thank you for raising your hands, Zabelina.
I love the clapping. I love the self-confidence. So my my son, I just want to kind of tell you a story because sometimes the whole empowering of your children backfires on you, and then you got to practice what you preach. You know what I mean? So, my son tells me this, right? He's 14, and this year he said, I want to go to school. And I'm like, the system and blah, 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 and here I am. And then I realized, oh my God, I had to really just kind of sit back and say, why? Why do you want to go to school? And he said, it's not for socialization, it's not for anything like that. He said, it's to kind of prove something to myself. And I said, well, what do you need to prove to yourself? And in my mind, I'm like, no! You like my graduation hat?
I love it.
Talking about school, so I figured, you know. So he said, I want to prove something to myself. And I'm like, oh, God, well, what is that, son? And he says, well, I just want to go in there, and I want to prove to myself that I can do that, and I can do so much more, and that you know, that I am a free thinker, he said, what I want to do really, and he painted a scenario for me. He says, what I want to do really is go in there, sit in the lunchroom, pretty much by myself, with the book Think and Grow Rich, to see what these kids do, to see the reaction that I'm going to get. And I'm like, where is this kid going with this? Like, are you serious? So it was almost like, I mean, I don't even know, like, what it was salvation syndrome. I don't know what the heck he was going through. But I was like, okay. I said, we'll do it. You know, we'll put you in there. But yeah, homeschool. What I'm trying to say with that is that you have to be, you know, there are homeschool parents that, yes, they do tend to, like, put their kids in there just like, no, you're not going to touch the system, you're not going to go in there, you're just not. But what happens is when you raise your children to think for themselves, and when you raise them to believe in themselves, when you raise them with all of this just confidence, they say, I want to do that and more. Put me in a magnet school, put me in a private school, put me in public school, put me in college at the age of 14. I'm going to do it. And it's just like, you got to swallow your tongue and say, okay, now is the time where the rubber meets the road, and yes, go. Do what you got to do, you know. So that's what I had to say about that. And that's when you really, really realize that what you've been doing and the whole time that you've been doing it is actually working. They're nothing like you. They're like super duper, you know, strong people like you, but just 10 times better, you know. It's awesome. It's awesome.
I love it. I love it. And that's one thing we really have to keep in mind is we're raising free thinkers. Love the tiara. So, yeah, we're raising free thinkers who, you know, we're not trying to put them in a box. We're trying to allow them to express their own selves, their own creativity, their own individuality. And so, you know, obviously within reason. I mean, you still have to be the parent and,
yes,
and guide and direct them.
Yes, yes, it's about guiding. It's about directing them. Amen. It's not just like, oh, here you go. You want to have sex? Here's a condom. No, no. Oh, my God, did I really just say that?
Well, that brings up a whole new topic.
I was gonna say, we don't have to worry about that. Brittany fixed that all by herself because she's 18-year-old female that wants to be a butcher. So as soon as she tells the boys she wants to be a butcher, they run the other way.
There you go. You guys crack me up. This is awesome. So yes, we definitely, you know, we want to be free thinkers, and that's, you know, we're going to wrap up here. We don't want to take a bunch of your time, but we wanted to wrap up with the fact that, yes, we're raising self-confident kids, and the way we do that is being self-confident ourselves. You know, we have a daily mastermind call that we listen into that helps us individually. Our kids will sometimes, when they're out of bed, they'll listen to it too. And, you know, it's all about being that example. And we do that through our business. You know, we show them that we're not the same. We're not the same cog in a wheel that goes to a regular job every day. Not that that's bad. and that's what some people, that's what they do, and they can be a leader at their job. But the point is standing out, deciding who you are for yourself, and being that example to them. And so I guess we'll leave with parting thoughts. We'll go ahead. Michelle, why don't you leave your parting thoughts about self-confidence in your business and socialization and the whole gamut,
Wrap it up.
the Addams family, whatever.
Oh yeah, my whole bit is just the biggest thing, and that's even what I instill in mine all the time. Is just be the best you that you possibly can be. You're not me. You're not your dad. You're not your uncle. You're not your aunt. You're not any of them. So their opinions, in my opinion, truly in the end, don't matter. As long as you're doing things within reason, within the right for yourself, you've got to be yourself, because in the end, you have to live your life. You have to go for what, if you want the job, if you want the 9 to whatever school, that, you know, truly that's your choice. You've got to have that self-confidence within yourself to be your own person and not care what anybody else thinks. The ones that are meant to be in your life will be there. I promise. They will be there. They will support you. They will love you. They will continue to go on no matter how different you might seem, or if you're even alike. There will always be similarity somewhere in there. So just absolutely take life by the reins and live it. You can't, you're not promised tomorrow, period. So go for it. Just take it, take that chance, go for it, grab on. There's so many people to support no matter what it is that you've got going on. So grab life and run with us. And, that's the biggest thing I can say. And I know that even within our community through even Wake Up Now, we're all different. We all have different things that we like, different things that we do, different abilities, different disabilities, everything else. So we absolutely, but it's a community that comes together that they don't see that part, they see you. So, come lock arms, join us, and make a difference in your life and your families.
Awesome. Thanks, Michelle. All right. Let's finish off with the Addams family, and then I'll let you share some parting words, my dear.
Okay.
Yeah, the Addams family. I love them. My kids have learned from seeing me, watching me just blossom into a butterfly. In this industry helps you do that. They see that, and this industry has empowered me. I grew up in a very negative environment, and once I stepped into network marketing, I have just really blossomed into somebody that I didn't even know that I was, and it seeped down into my children, and it has just been a ginormous blessing. I am saying all this to say that my children believe now that there is a way that you can stay home, be with your children, and create a residual income. And you can do that by helping others to blossom into the person that they were created to be. And, they believe in me. They respect me for what it is that I do. They see what I'm doing, and it really gives them a whole new perspective on what making money can do, how you can make money. So it's opened the doors to so many different ideas in their lives. They believe in themselves, and yes, they're awesome kids. I would love for you guys to meet them. Hopefully one day soon we can get all of our kids out here and have them do a homeschool hangout with us so that you can see how weird they are. Yeah, and hopefully, you'll be able to interact as well. We would love to hear people who have positive and negative comments, because we welcome all of those things. So I encourage you, if you've been wanting to homeschool, or there's something in your heart where you're just like, something's got to change, whether that's working from home or homeschooling or whatever it may be, hey, listen, YOLO, okay? You only live once, all right? Do it. Do it. Your time is now. Step into the person that you were created to be. It is a small investment with a huge reward, and I mean in homeschooling and in working for yourself. Our company is amazing. We've got a support for you. We've got support for you if you want to homeschool. So we're here for you 100%. And I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys, because this is the beginning of the wonderful life that you are about to embark on. Guys, we have like full-time RVers. We have like 80-year-olds who are, you know, making money. We've got 80-year-olds who are totally changing the way that they think, you know, from 18-year-olds who are making 6 figures in this company. It's crazy. If they can do it, you can do it.
And you know, Zabelina, we even have people that, you know, are hearing impaired or sight impaired, and they're doing it. So there's no excuses.
I'm a quadriplegic. I'm paralyzed from the collarbone down with limited movement. It doesn't stop me.
That's right. I was going to say, Michelle's leading the way. She's leading the pack. This wolf pack. She's out there rocking that chair, and I just love her inspiration every day. She shares such powerful messages.
Yes, she does.
So,
yeah.
You know,
Well, thank you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap that up with that, and I pass you over the mic.
All right.
Well, I hope you can see that that, you know, like I said, homeschool is not like it used to be. With all the technology, the advent of the internet, and, you know, the groups and things like that, that, you know, they're you know, in the words of Eric Worre, there's a better way. We have a better way, and you know, the ability for you to be able to take back your freedom. You know, a lot of you might possibly be like, man, can we do this? You know, is it possible for me? Is it possible for my family to have that type of freedom? And we're here to tell you that it is. You know, we have an incredible team that we work with of people that, you know, that really care for your success. And you know, our Freedom Uprising team is just amazing. And we have, like I said, all the pieces. We start the morning with a mindset call that we encourage you to get on and listen to. It's recorded as well, but if you're on live, you're able to actually have the opportunity to speak your mind, you know, and how it makes you feel. And I promise you that if you get on that call and you listen, you know,
meet some of the Adams family.
Meet some of us crazy out there. You'll find out that we're not too much different than you, that we're passionate about what we do, and we're passionate about helping people. And, you know, we have a vehicle here that can literally change your life if you just grab the reins, get on, and ride with us. And we just encourage you to click the button below, get started, check out, you know, what Wake Up Now is. You can actually get signed up for free. And it costs as little as $100 to $150 a month, depending on what you want.
Of services that give you tons of value.
Yeah, absolutely. We know that the services that, you know, for that $100 to $150 per month, you're going to see tremendous value. You're going to save more, way more than that. You know, I come back to tax block. Just think about this. All of the miles that you drive, you know, to go on vacations, to you know, to go out to eat, to meet people.
When you take your kids on field trips, pass out a few business cards and write it off.
That's right. All of that is able to be wrote off as a tax deduction, and literally will save thousands and thousands of dollars a year. Just think about this. For every 2 miles that you drive, throw a dollar bill out the window. And think about it. See how many times you're going to throw that dollar bill, because that's really what you can do, you know, just owning a home-based business. So we encourage you.
Keep the money in your window. Don't throw it out.
Get the link. Hit the link below. Get started.
And also, real quick, we will not be seeing you next week. Ron and I are actually going to be out of the country to the.
Allows us to do is be able to take maybe an extended vacation after 15 years of marriage. We're actually going on a cruise. So we're excited about that.
I'll miss our good friends, Zabelina and Michelle. We'll be thinking about you from the beaches.
We'll be looking forward to seeing all the pictures and posts, so we can't wait to see that part to see how much fun you're having.
We will, definitely, for sure. But we'll be back in 2 weeks from today, and we'll have another fabulous topic about Adam's family values and different stuff like that. So
this is going to be if there's somebody that you want to share this with, this will actually be recorded at the exact same website that you went to now. So the person who invited you, get back with them, and you should share the information with other people. Hopefully it can help them. That's our goal.
And that's what we're here for, just to help the people. So get back with, the person who invited you. You're probably on their page right now. That's the beauty of what we do on the internet. We can share information, and we get credit for it. So we're here working for you. Put us to work for you. We'd love to work for you. So click that button below. Send us a private message if you have any questions, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Make it a great one.